Episode 6, Into the Woods. As the first light of Saturday morning filtered through his bedroom window, casting long shadows across the floor, Alex stood, solemnly packing his weekend bag. The chill in the air seemed to seep into the room, wrapping around him like a cold reminder of the decision he had made. His family's laughter and plans for the weekend echoed in his mind. A vivid, colorful tapestry of what he would miss. Dinners, birthday parties, the warm embrace of his family gatherings, each image tugged at his heart, intensifying the turmoil within. Despite the sleepless night, Alex's mind buzzed relentlessly, a hive teeming with the relentless activity of anticipation and dread. Each thought and emotion swirled within him, intensifying as the moment of departure approached. He stood at what felt like the edge of a precipice, gazing into an expansive chasm that promised solitude and profound introspection. The mere idea of what lay ahead caused his heart to beat faster, the mix of emotions becoming almost palpable in the air around him. As he secured the zipper on his weekend bag, his fingers quivered slightly, not merely from the early morning chill that seeped through his home, but more so from the potent cocktail of emotions that surged through his veins. There was excitement, a bright flare in the quiet morning, sparked by the promise of discovering hidden facets of his personality and possibly unlocking deeper layers of his psyche. This thrill of exploring uncharted territories of self-awareness was tinged with a fear of what he might unearth in the process. What secrets did his soul hold? What truths lay buried under the daily roles of routines? Accompanying this excitement and fear was a gnawing doubt, a whispering question in the back of his mind, questioning the wisdom of his decision. Was he right to disrupt his family's life for this solitary quest? Was the potential gain of personal clarity worth the immediate cost of their disappointment and their absence? Yet, beneath all these swirling thoughts and conflicting emotions, there was a deep, unyielding resolve. It was a steel thread woven through the fabric of his apprehensions, pulling him forward. This resolve was born out of an intrinsic understanding that this journey was not just necessary, but essential for his growth. It was a commitment to himself, a solemn promise to face whatever lay in the depths of his solitude, to confront the parts of himself that needed healing and understanding, and to ultimately emerge stronger and more attuned to his inner needs and desires. The drive up to the cabin felt like a passage from one reality to another, a physical transition that mirrored the psychological journey Alex was embarking upon, as the concrete jungle of the city receded in the rear-view mirror. The chaotic symphony of urban life, honking cars, bustling crowds, the relentless pulse of city living, gradually faded into a serene backdrop of natural sounds. The rustling of leaves stirred by a gentle breeze, the soothing hum that seemed to emanate from the very heart of the forest, and the occasional distant call of a bird provided a stark contrast. Each mile that his car tread deeper into the forest seemed to strip away another layer of his metropolitan shell, revealing a more authentic version of himself, unshielded and susceptible to the elements of nature and introspection. As Alex navigated the winding roads, the solitude of his journey allowed the internal dialogue to grow louder, more insistent. The question started as a mere whisper, but grew in intensity with each twist and turn of the path. What am I really doing here? Am I selfish for leaving my family this weekend? He pondered. The weight of each question stirring a turbulent sea of emotions within him. His thoughts became a tangible mess, a knot of guilt, duty, and longing for personal space that seemed impossible to untie. Yet, amidst this internal turmoil, a quiet voice of reason persisted, a whisper cutting through his doubts with gentle but firm reassurance. This is vital, not just a retreat, but a pilgrimage towards understanding myself, it soothed, offering a counter-narrative to his self-doubt. This voice reminded him that the journey was essential, a necessary step towards healing parts of himself that had long been neglected and wounded, essential for returning to his family as a whole and more present individual. This internal reassurance became a mantra, repeating with every mile, helping to drown out the dissonance of doubt with the clear purpose of his journey. A quest not just for solitude, but for a deeper transformative understanding of himself. Queen Bringer of Good Hope's instructions echoed in his mind, a guiding light amidst the storm of his doubt. Engage deeply with the journaling prompts. Immerse in the mystical music. Limit distractions. These were not just instructions. They were the tools he needed to navigate the uncharted territories of his psyche. He could almost hear Queen's calm, steady voice, encouraging him to embrace the solitude, to let the silence of the woods seep into him and reveal the truths buried beneath years of noise and distraction. As he pulled up to the cabin, nestled deep within the embrace of towering pines, the reality of his isolation hit him. Stepping out of the car, the chill of the morning air felt sharp against his skin, a physical manifestation of the cutting clarity that solitude could bring. The silence of the woods was profound, almost overwhelming in its intensity. It promised deep reflection, but also hinted at the unsettling confrontations that lay ahead with his inner self. As Alex pushed open the cabin door, he was immediately enveloped by the distinctive rustic scent of aged wood, a rich, earthly aroma that spoke of years gone by and secrets held within the grain. Alongside it, the faint mustiness of air long undisturbed mingled with the wood's perfume, adding a note of timeless solitude that seemed almost palpable. This sensory greeting marked a definitive departure from the world he knew, serving as a stark reminder that he was now stepping into a realm far removed from his everyday life. He crossed the threshold, his footsteps echoing slightly in the quiet, unoccupied space. Each sound seemed amplified in the stillness, reminding him that he was truly alone. Setting down his bag with a soft thud, Alex felt his heart thump audibly in his chest, a rhythm accelerated by a potent blend of fear and excitement. The fear stemmed from the unknown, from what the solitude might reveal about his deepest self, while the excitement arose from the very same potential to discover, to confront, and perhaps to heal aspects of himself that needed attention. The solitude he was about to embrace was more than just the absence of people. It was a profound emotional and psychological expedition into uncharted territories of his inner landscape. Here, in this rustic retreat, surrounded by the stillness of nature and the quiet wisdom of the cabin, Alex was not just isolated. He was positioned at the very edge of an internal frontier, ready to delve into the depths of his being. This journey promised to challenge his perceptions, to unearth buried feelings, and to test the resilience of his spirit. It was a voyage inward, a deep dive into the reservoirs of his psyche, where he would uncover truths long hidden and face fears long avoided. Initially, Alex busied himself with unpacking, a mundane task that offered a sense of normalcy amidst the brewing storm of emotions. He started unpacking almost mechanically, placing his clothes in the rustic wooden dresser, lining up his toiletries in the small bathroom, and laying out his writing materials and Queen's notes on the big oak table in the living area. This bit of busyness felt comforting, a little bubble of normal activity in an otherwise daunting scenario. With everything put away, Alex realized he was stalling. Instead of sitting down at that imposing oak table to start his assignments, he drifted into the kitchenette to make some coffee. The familiar ritual of brewing helped ground him as the rich aroma filled the small space, mingling with the cabin's earthly scent. Mug in hand, he stepped outside onto the porch and settled onto an old swing bench. As he sipped his coffee, gazing out at the misty woods, Alex let the natural calm of his surroundings wash over him. It was beautiful here, peaceful in a way that the city could never be, but also immense and a little intimidating. Thoughts of his family and his work flickered through his mind, blending with the soft sounds of nature around him. Sitting there, Alex's initial resolve wavered under the weight of what he was about to do. The solitude felt heavier out there, stirring up a sense of dread about what this deep dive into his psyche might reveal. He found himself procrastinating, checking his phone for messages he knew wouldn't come through, and tidying up bits around the cabin that didn't really need tidying. As the day wore on, Alex realized he couldn't put it off any longer. He had come here to face himself, to unearth deeper truths and to heal old wounds, and no amount of stalling would change that necessity. He went back inside, refreshed his coffee, grabbed a quick snack, and finally, with a resigned sigh, with a flicker of curiosity, sat down at the table. He shuffled Queen's papers, the rustling sound oddly loud in the quiet room. Taking a deep breath, he picked up his pen, hesitated for just a moment, and then started writing. As the pen grew more confident on the page, so did Alex's spirit. He was no longer merely recounting events, but was engaging in a conversation with his deepest self. Each question from the legacy ledger prompted revelations that seemed to echo through the quiet of the cabin, resonating with the rustle of the trees outside. He was not just writing, he was weaving his fears, hopes, and dreams into a tapestry of self-awareness. Question 1. What does the concept of dying daily mean to you personally? Here's the process. Alex paused, reflecting on how each day brought small endings, projects completed, moments of clarity, even the sunset each evening. He wrote about embracing these endings as part of a continual renewal, seeing each as an opportunity to grow and redefine his understanding of himself and his purpose. Question 2. How do your fears reflect your beliefs about what happens after death? Here's the process. This question struck a chord. Alex explored his fears of the unknown, jotting down anxious thoughts that often plagued his nights. Yet as he wrote, he began to frame these fears within his broader belief system, questioning whether these fears were a reflection of societal views or a deeper personal unease. His responses gradually uncovered a desire to believe in something more beyond the physical life, a narrative that provided comfort and continuation. As the afternoon shadows lengthened and the light in the cabin shifted from bright to a mellow dusk, Alex found himself deeply engrossed in the act of self-discovery. The initial hesitance had transformed into a kind of hunger, a need to delve deeper, to understand more fully, not just the life he lived, but the legacy he wished to leave. Question 3. What stories or teachings from African mysticism resonate with your feelings about life and death? Process. Alex recalled a tale his grandmother once told him, a story of a great tree whose leaves fell each season only to make the soil richer for the coming year. He drew parables to his own life, seeing his past failures and successes as the leaves of his existence, each one feeding into the richness of his experience, nurturing a strong, more resilient self. Just as he was about to explore the next question, his computer pinged, a gentle reminder of the upcoming mindfulness mentoring session with Queen Bringer of Good Hope. Reluctantly, Alex placed his pen down, the line of ink trailing off into a thoughtful pause. His journey into the woods had started as a retreat from the world, but it was quickly becoming a profound pilgrimage into his soul. Will Alex find the courage to fully confront his deepest fears and embrace the lessons they have to teach him? Can he transform his existential dread into a powerful manifesto that not only guides his life, but also inspires others? Join us in the next episode of Into the Woods. As Alex continues his introspective journey with Queen, diving deeper into the mysteries of life and death, and crafting an obituary that promises to be as life-affirming as it is profound. Don't miss the revelations and wisdom that awaits as he constructs his very own Dying Daily to Live manifesto. A document that seeks not to face death, but to transcend it, offering a roadmap for living each day with purpose and passion. Stay tuned, engage deeply, and perhaps find the courage to embark on your own journey with the Legacy Ledger, exploring the contours of your fears and the potential of your own legacy.